Two broke screenwriters got rejected 15 times. Now their show generates over $1 billion a year for Netflix. Matt and Ross Duffer were 31-year-old twin brothers from Durham, North Carolina. They graduated from film school in 2007 and moved to Los Angeles with almost nothing. No connections, no safety net. Just two broke screenwriters chasing a dream. For years, Matt and Ross Duffer were stuck in the worst place you can be in Hollywood. Almost. They wrote script after script that nobody wanted. They made a small indie horror movie called Hidden. Barely anyone saw it. They worked on Wayward Pines, but it got canceled. So they kept grinding and doing punch-up work and taking whatever paid. Surviving. For nearly a decade, they were the brothers who almost made it, almost sold the pitch, almost got the green light, almost broke through. And then in 2013, they came up with something different, a show called Montauk. Kids in the 1980s, psychic powers, secret government experiments, and monsters from another dimension. Everybody told them the same thing in different words. This show was dead on arrival. Spielberg already owned the Kids on Bikes story in the 80s. Streaming audiences want prestige dramas, not horror stories led by children. You want $6 million an episode for a cast of unknown kids? That's insane! But the Duffers didn't back off. They kept pitching. They started in 2013 and took the script everywhere. HBO said no. It didn't fit their brand. AMC said no. Too expensive. NBC said no. Too violent for network TV. Fox said no. They wanted to own the IP, and the Duffers refused. Then came more rejection. Showtime, FX, TNT, History Channel, WGN America, CBS. One after another, they all passed. CBS even told them kids couldn't carry an hour-long drama. 15 networks and streaming platforms, 15 rejections, 2 straight years of hearing one word over and over again. No. Most writers would have shelved it, moved on, written something safer. The Duffers were broke, living in a tiny apartment, taking whatever writing work paid rent. But they believed in those kids, believed in the monsters, believed people were desperate for something strange. In April 2015, they pitched Netflix. Netflix had just launched original programming, looking for their next big swing after House of Cards and Orange is the New Black. The meeting lasted 20 minutes. Netflix Vice President Cindy Holland greenlit it on the spot. 8 episodes, $6 million per episode budget. But here's what nobody talks about. The Duffers had never run a TV show before, never managed a big budget, never directed at this scale. Netflix gave them complete creative control anyway. That much freedom usually destroys first-time showrunners. They cast 4 unknown kids. Winona Ryder, who hadn't starred in anything major since 2002. David Harbour, a character actor nobody knew. Shot it in Atlanta to keep costs down. The Duffers wrote all 8 episodes themselves, directed 4 of them, fought Netflix on every detail executives wanted to change. Netflix wanted to age up the characters to teenagers. The Duffers said no. Kids on bikes or nothing. Netflix wanted more action sequences. The Duffers insisted on slow burn tension. Netflix wanted to cut the budget on the monster design. The Duffers fought for practical effects over cheap CGI. Every decision was a battle. Every choice was a risk. July 15, 2016, Stranger Things Season 1 dropped on Netflix. No marketing budget, no promotional tour, just 8 episodes were released at midnight. Week 1, decent reviews, some social media buzz. Week 2, word of mouth exploded. Within 3 weeks, Stranger Things was the most watched Netflix original series ever made at that time. Barb became a cultural phenomenon. Upside down entered everyday vocabulary. Kids dressed as 11 for Halloween before Halloween even arrived. Eggo waffle sales spiked 14% in the quarter after release, first increase in 5 years. But the Duffers kept pushing. Season 2, 2017. 427 million hours viewed in the first month. Season 3, 2019, broke every Netflix viewing record. The mall set alone cost $8 million to build. Season 4, 2022, $30 million per episode, more than most Hollywood blockbusters. 140 million hours viewed in the first 3 days. Episode 4 used a Kate Bush song from 1985, Running Up That Hill. Within 2 days, it was #1 on iTunes, globally. Kate Bush was 63. The song was 37 years old. The Season 4 finale got 301 million viewing hours in its first 28 days. Then came the final season. Netflix bet everything. $480 million production budget, $60 million per episode. The 2023 Hollywood strikes delayed filming by 7 months. The cast aged up. Writers had to add a time jump. Most showrunners would have cracked under that pressure. The Duffers used it, made the aging part of the story. They released Season 5 as a 3-part event. Volume 1, Thanksgiving 2025. 4 episodes. Volume 2, Christmas Day 2025. 3 episodes. The series finale, New Year's Eve 2025. 2 hours and 8 minutes. Called The Right Side Up. 287 million hours viewed in the first 3 days. 141 million hours in the first week. Biggest debut week for an English-language series in Netflix history. 102.6 million global views in the first 28 days. Just Volume 1. Then the finale dropped on New Year's Eve. Hashtag Stranger Things 5 trended #1 on Twitter for 72 consecutive hours. 5.75 billion social impressions. Diana Ross's Upside Down spiked 1,250% on Spotify overnight. Nike released Stranger Things Dunks, sold out in 4 minutes. Chips Ahoy generated 11 billion impressions from their themed campaign. For the first time in Netflix history, all 5 seasons of one show occupied the global top 10 simultaneously. Season 5 drove over 2 million new Netflix subscriptions in Q4 2025 alone. The show hit #1 in 90 countries. Today, Stranger Things has generated over 1.2 billion total views across all 5 seasons. Analysts estimate the franchise has created over $1.4 billion in total value for Netflix. The Duffer Brothers signed an exclusive multi-year deal with Paramount in August 2025. Their net worth, $50 to $70 million each. All because 2 broke twin brothers who couldn't sell a script for 10 years refused to believe that 15 rejections meant their weird idea was wrong. That idea became a cultural phenomenon and drove billions in value for Netflix. The lesson is brutal and simple. The people passing on your work are not always judging the audience correctly. The Duffers were broke, cast unknown kids, backed actors people underestimated, and fought to protect every strange detail that made the show different. That's the part most people miss. What gets called too weird is often the one thing nobody else is making. So before you kill your idea after the 3rd no, remember this: they heard no 15 times. And the yes that changed everything came after all of it. Safe gets approved. Different gets remembered.